Welcome back, guys, to another deck profile video here with Chris from CCJ, and today we're going to be going over a revamped post-anniversary box Hatchhyack deck that I feel is really strong, probably one of the better control decks in the format, and will just get better as new sets come out. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because a lot of people don't like playing against Hatchhyack, but I think if he gets the right unison, this deck will be top tier again. So hopefully we can get that. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this deck profile. And let me know down in the comments what deck profiles you guys like to see in the future. So Dr. Lychee and Hatchhyack, you cannot swing on this side until you awaken. And you and your opponent can only tag with battle cards or tokens that are basically 7 or less one time. Unless they have dual attack or triple attack. Now, what that means is that you have to attack, basically when you attack with a battle card, just a battle card in general, this will trigger. So that means once you attack with the battle card, you can't attack with 7 or less. So if you have let's say you have a 10 drop or an 8 drop, you have to swing with the small ones first if you want to swing with those, and then swing with the larger ones, if that makes any sense. Activate main, place top card of your deck underneath this card, then you mill one, and then you draw one. And then once you have 3 cards underneath your leader, and all of your energy is black, you can draw one and flip over. And then on this side, you're a 20k battle card. I mean, you're a 20k leader whenever you swing, where you draw, and then the same effect, you and your opponent can't attack with battle cards under 7 more than once per turn. So, for the deck, we have 2 of the blocker Supreme Kai. It's a 1-drop that allows you to draw. It's also a blocker. Just gives you some good defense early on in the game that you kind of need. You want to stay above like 6 life until you awaken. 3 of the Son Goku negates. Same idea there for 1-drop potential. For the Son of the Kid Ku, the Son Goku Kid Ku 4-star ball searchers, and you have your 4-star balls. 3 of the Go Tanks unisons. I feel like this deck actually should run a unison. Just gives you an extra swing, and with this guy, your opponent has to kind of choose now. So your opponent chooses if they want to pop this or pop your leader. Now obviously this is not as prevalent as it would be in the Vegex deck because this card won't have double strike, but you can always use a Further Destruction Champa, give a double strike. But this is later on, this is going to be a dual attack card you can use to clear off unisons. And also just having an extra swing in a deck that doesn't allow for a lot of extra swings is just pretty good. You can use, you can pitch the 4-star ball off of this and then use your 1-drop to pick it back up. Now you have it for defensive purposes. I only use the 4-star ball for defensive purposes in this deck. Rarely going to use it for offensive wise unless I'm going for game. I'm just going to use it for defensive, or if I'm playing against hand destruction, I'll use that to pitch a card. We have 4 power burst. This allows us to pull back any of our 1-drops that we've seen previously. You want to try to get as many 1-drops in the drop area as possible, and then you can use your power burst to then pull them back, or the warp if you do end up warping something. 3 of the 1-drop Kettle Pezzler. I'm gonna bump this up to 4. I may take out one of the Goku negates for this. I think running 4 of this is the best way to do things, because if you're not running 4, it makes it a little more difficult to see. So we'll probably end up bumping this up to 4, but it's played well with only having 3. I feel like it's not bad. But then the rest of the Kettle Pezzler engine I ran at a 4. So you have the 4-drop that has dual attack. It can gain an attack for 1 energy. Also has barrier. You have the 5-drop that has crit and double strike that will draw you a card and warp one of your opponent's battle cards. Then we have 3 of the 6-drop that has dual attack, double strike, crit, and barrier. This is kind of your main win condition, I guess, for the deck. You just go up the chain, get to this, and then just start swinging with this guy. Super combos, I run 2 of the Sparking, draw, and then 2 of the Bibbities. It's good to have a split in this deck. You want to be able to draw, because the deck doesn't draw a ton. So having this is great. And then being able to use this is also pretty good too. So now in either one of these, you can unfortunately get back from any ability in the game. So if you mill them, they're gone. But just having a split is nice, being able to draw and then being able to super combo, like super combo on somebody. 3 of the Dr. Lychee blockers. This is a great card to pitch as well. You want this card in the drop. You can pay 2 to bring it back, and then you can mill 2. It's a good way to kind of thin out your deck, as well as just being able to get a blocker on board that you don't have to play from your energy. I mean, you don't have to pay from your hand, and allows you to set up a decent defense for the next turn. 2 of the slugs. It's the only Ghost War we run in the deck, outside of the one drop, outside of the one promo Hatchhyack. But these 3 cards here allow you to shuffle cards back into your deck. Slug, you can warp anything greater than your opponent's energy with its active main. And then this one, this basically has dual attack if you swing at a battle card first. Comes out for 3 from your drop. And you can also pitch it to your drop to burst 2 if you really need to get the burst off. But another card that we can combo from our hand or use for our Gotenks ability. Another card we can use for Gotenks is the Majin Buu. This is a really good card. Hatchhyack really needed this. So for 1, you pitch this card from your drop to your warp, and then at the end of your turn, you drop 1 and draw 2. So this just allows you to cycle through your hand, get some dead cards out of your hand, and being able to just basically +1. 2 of the Koitsukais. Same sort of idea. When this is in the drop, you can use it. Pay 1. You bottom deck up to 2 cards, shuffle, and then you draw that many cards. Your opponent plays anything under 20k power on your turn. They have to pitch 2 cards to the warp. So basically, any counterplay, any battle card counterplay, counterattack, counter, they have to pitch 2, which is nice. It basically gives you a free turn, especially if in this deck you're gonna have the energy late in the game. You just you pitch one of these, maybe shuffle some cards back into your deck that you don't need. Draw 2 new cards and then just start swinging with stuff. And unless they have extra card negates, they're going to start pitching cards. 1 Deborah. I don't think it's great in this deck, considering this is considered a 2-drop. So you actually cannot shuffle this card back into the deck, which kind of sucks. So 1 is kind of what I have it at right now. I'm probably going to end up removing it for something else, counterplay-wise. Maybe a Maki Cabra or something. I don't think the Deborah is super good anymore, especially since I found out that it is considered a 2-drop, so you can't shuffle it back in. So I need to find something else to use for this. So we have the 5-drop Hatchhyack. I don't run the 4-drop. I think it's because it doesn't have deflector barrier, it kind of feels pointless to run it. And you have to have this card in your drop in order to evolve on top of it. So I'll just hard cast this for 5. There's only 2 cards, I think, that bounce this card back, which is Trunks and Hit. Everything else, when this card hits the field, this is considered an 8-drop. So when your opponent tries to use the Frieza Unison counter, it's fine. They have to choose something else because this card's an 8-drop once it hits the board. Now with this card, you can place it in your drop area and negate an attack, which is kind of cool. Or you can use this card's shuffle ability, shuffle 3 battle cards in, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and warp it. This has dual attack. This is an 8-drop, so this does not get hit by your attack sickness from your leader. But make sure, like I said, you swing with your. If you have both of these on board, you want to swing with Kettle Pezzler first, and then swing with this since this is over an 8. Since this is over 8 cost, you don't want to swing with this first because then you can't swing with that. So just make sure you do that. The new guy is the new 9-drop Hatchhyack. So how this card works is you evolve on top of this for free. So this card here, you get 2 swings out of it. You can then evolve this on top of it and restand it. and now you have a 30k triple attack. So now you have 3 more attacks to this card. And when this card's on the board, when your opponent activates a counter skill, they choose 1 card in their hand and send it to the warp. So when they negate, they have to warp a card. So you technically have 5 swings for this for 5 energy basically, which is really, really strong. And this card kind of works as a Dark Banisher Fu. Whenever they activate a counter skill, they have to warp 1. So if you have this on board and a Kettle Pezzler, you swing twice with Kettle Pezzler. Every time they negate, they have to warp 1, and then you swing 3 times at this. And we run 4 of these. 1, because of the foiling. 2, because these are 5k combos. And 3, this is a 9-drop, so we cannot shuffle this card back in to our deck, unfortunately, by any of our skills. So we want to make sure we have this card in our hand so we can use it late game. 2 Fu the Dark, not Fu the Dark Banisher, Fu Shrouded in Mystery. We run 2 because if we end up milling 1, we want to make sure we have the other one. Consistency purposes, obviously this card shuts down everything for your turn and your opponent's turn. Generally you can win the game off of that, but if not, it allows you to set up for the next turn because your opponent really can't do anything on the next turn. And then our secret is Smoke. I think Smoke Dragon feels better in this deck now. I've grown really accustomed to using Smoke Dragon in this deck now, as I was really comfortable with using Demigraw earlier. I think as the deck has transformed, I think it just fits better using Smoke Dragon, just way better. But I'm gonna end up probably playing this deck at my locals this weekend. So I'll let you guys know how this deck does. I'll leave an update video. We'll see if any changes that I make beforehand, and kind of let you know for anybody who is interested in playing Hatchhyack going forward. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.